judgment and decision-making based on low effort.
After studying this chapter, you will be able to identify the type of heuristics that consumers can use to make simple judgments. Number 2, explain why marketers need to understand both unconscious and conscious decision-making processes in low-effort situations. Number 3, highlight low consumers learn to apply choice tactics through operant conditioning. 4, discuss how consumers make thought-based low-effort decisions using performance-related tactics, habit, brand loyalty, price-related tactics, and normative influences. 5, describe how consumers make affect-based low-effort decisions using feelings as a simplifying strategy, brand familiarity, variety seeking, and impulse purchasing.
Usually, consumers have a low or less effort on judgment and decision process because consumers have a low motivation, ability, and opportunity to process information. The reason behind of this is because they are buying a specific product daily or repeatedly, which is resulted in decreasing the level of excitement and simplifying their judgment process. Low effort judgment process. Heuristics or rule of thumb are being used when motivation, ability, and opportunity is low. In low effort judgment, basically consumers simplify their cognitive process to reduce the effort when they are making judgments. We have two types of heuristics, the representativeness and the availability heuristics. Sa representative heuristics, you are going to make judgment by comparing two types of products. For example, may bagong brand ng detergent sa market. Ipag-compare siya ng customer kung same lang ba siya ng quality sa recent brand na nagamit mo or sa mga existing brand sa market. Itong sample na to ay isa sa mga reason ng mga marketers when it comes in packaging. Minsan, gagayahin ng marketers yung designs of packaging ng mga leading brands o yung mga mas kilala.
Availability heuristic, basing judgments on events that are easier to recall. When you are trying to make a decision, a number of related events or situations might immediately spring to the lead of your thoughts. As a result, you might judge that those events are more frequent than others. You give greater credence to this information and tend to overestimate the probability and likelihood of similar things happening in the future. Dito, halimbawa yung nakanood ka ng news report na may nangunguha ng bata na naka-white van. Syempre dito, iisipin ng mga tao or iisipin ng mga bata na pag lalabas sila or tuwing lalabas sila, baka may makita silang white van na ganyan, baka kunin sila. Yun yung iniisip ng mga tao pag nakapanood sila ng ganong report. This type of availability heuristic can be helpful and important in decision making. When faced with the choice, we often lack the time of resources to investigate in greater depth. The availability heuristic can be a helpful tool, but it's also important to remember that it can be sometimes lead to incorrect assessment. Yun nga, syempre 'di ba, hindi lahat ng nakikita nating white van or hindi lahat ng nakikita nating white van is nangunguha ng bata. Kaya parang malaki yung nagiging epekto ng white van sa mga tao or sa mga bata. Kasi akala nila na lahat ng white van is nangunguha ng bata. Yeah. Just because something looms large in your memory does not necessarily mean that it is more common, so it can be helpful to rely on numerous tools and decision-making strategies when you are trying to make a choice.
These judgments are biased because we tend to ignore base rate information or law of small numbers. Wherein in base rate information, hindi masyadong aware ang consumer sa informations towards product. Kaya mababa ang level ng judgment. Nakabase rin ang judgment ng consumer depende sa structure ng information. Minsan naniniwala tayo sa mga nababasa natin or kung ano lang yung accessible information. Sa law of small numbers naman, basically, as a consumers, we get information from small sample of group, tulad ng word of mouth. Kasi 'di ba minsan pinapaniwalaan natin kung ano yung sinasabi ng ibang tao sa atin, like our friends or families. We believe on their feedbacks kasi natry na nila yung product or the service. In representative heuristics, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, marketers tend to position offerings close to the prototypes na na-encounter na ng consumers.
Marketing implications of two major heuristics. Availability heuristics. Marketers can attempt either to capitalize on or to overcome the availability bias. To capitalize, they can provide to consumers with positive and vivid product-related experiences through the use of marketing communications, or they can ask consumers to imagine such situation. Dito naman is, marketers can use this availability heuristic to gain customers, and that is by spreading positive information about the products with the evidences. For example nito for example nito is yung rejuvenating set. Kasi 'di ba yung rejuvenating set, isa siya sa sikat na sa mga artista at saka sa mga normal na tao lang, ganyan, para gumagamit sila ng ganito para mag-glow up sila or mawala yung mga acne nila, yung dark spots nila sa mukha, ganyan. So, as a marketer, kailangan ng marketer na mag-provide ng evidences para makita nila yung resulta at mahikayat sila na bumili ng ganitong product.
Low effort decision-making processes.
Low effort decision-making processes. Most low effort judgment and decision situations are not very important in consumers' lives relative to other decisions in their lives. Clearly, career and family decisions are far more important than deciding which toothpaste or peanut butter to buy. Thus, the consumer usually does not want to devote a lot of time and effort to these relatively mundane decisions. Siyempre, ikaw sa pang-araw-araw na ginagawa mo o binibili mo, hindi mo na pag-iisipan pang mabuti yun kasi syempre kasi alam mong ang tawag dun, kusa mo na siyang bibilin kasi kailangan mo yun. Basta basta alam mo kailangan mo yun, hindi mo na siya kailangang pag-isipan kung bibili mo ba siya or hindi. Kasi mostly kapag ganyan, nakarely yung decision natin sa heuristics. Researchers suggest that such decisions are sometimes made unconsciously and sometimes consciously, but with very little effort. But with low effort decision-making processes. Unconscious low effort decision-making, conscious low effort decision-making, using simplifying strategies when consumers' effort is low.
Unconscious low effort decision making. Minsan, pag nasa mall tayo, hindi natin alam kung bakit natin biniling specific product na yon. And those unconscious choices strongly affected by environmental stimuli. Tulad ng fragrance of perfume in department store, which is mas unang nag-response yung brain mo bago ka mag-isip. In short, nasatisfy ka na kaagad sa product. Another example na environmental stimuli are novel shapes, color, brand logos, certain places or social situations, and presence of other people. Itong mga ito naman affected by visual sense or kung ano yung nakikita ng mga mata natin. Na-observe nyo ba minsan, pag maganda yung ambience sa loob ng shop, na-encourage tayo na bumili ng product, lalo na kapag Instagrammable yung mga interior designs or kung maraming customers na bumibili. Kumbaga, hindi natin namamalaya na na-encourage na rin tayo na bumili rin sa shop na yon. In addition, factors affecting unconscious evaluation is based on thin-slice judgment, a structure that looks like have a friendly human face. Dito naman yun yung mga pleasing in the eye, lalo na yung mga packaging niya. Like me, pag nakikita na ako sa isang designs ng product, binibili ko without knowing yung quality ng mismong item. Also, body feedback, like nodding, which is positive feedback, and shaking of heads, which means negative feedback. Lastly, how the floor feels to the shopper or consumer. Siyempre, kung feeling mo komportable ka naman sa inaapakan mo dun sa floor, hindi ka na mahihirapang mag-shopping. While kung madulas naman yung floor, mostly, maiirita ka o madi-discourage kang bumili kasi nga hindi ka komportable. Kasama din dun yung organize ng product sa store shelves. As a consumer, syempre, hindi ka matutuwa kung di organize yung mga products kasi para siyang wasting of time ng consumer kakahanap ng product na gusto mong bilhin.
Example nito, yung kapag may naamoy ka ng familiar na pabango, tapos bigla maaalala mo kung saang lugar o anong product yung may amoy na ganon. Na mabango, na sweet, like that. Yun yung ginagawa ng marketers na ginagamit nila yun to make consumers print the products or brand on their mind. Kasi mas makikilala ng consumers yung product sa amoy niya, di ba? Kung mabango siya, kasi mas mahihikayat sila pag nag-i-stick sa mind nila or sa pang-amoy nila yung product na yun, yung pabangong yun.
Conscious low-effort decision making. Sa previous chapter related sa conscious behavior ng consumer, which is consumer engage first in thinking, followed by feeling, which is resulted in behaving. However, researchers studies that this traditional hierarchy does not applicable to all decision-making situations. Kaya nag-propose ang researcher, which is the hierarchy of effects for low-effort situations, the sequence of thinking, behaving, and feeling. Consumer starts to think or engage in decision process with low level of beliefs based on familiarity and knowledge towards the brand that they possibly gain from the exposure of advertisement. Mula sa beliefs, ayun ang magiging pundasyon sa behavior nila or attitudes towards products when it comes in decisioning. After they make decision, it will forms into emotion, either masasatisfy ka or not. Meron din ibang research studies na nag-propose na mas mauuna ang feelings followed by behaving that leads in thinking. In this sequence, they believe na minsan mas nangingibabaw yung feelings or emotion rather than thinking. For example, when a kid buy a new candy or a woman that download a TV program based on positive feelings. For example, nagbebenta kasi ako ng Netflix account and then one time, yung pinsan ko mahilig siya manood ng K-drama. So sinabi ko, nagbebenta ako ng Netflix account. Natuwa naman agad siya, kaya bumili siya agad-agad ng account. So basically, yung emotion niya, yung unang nag-trigger sa kanya na bumili ng Netflix account.
Low-effort purchases represent the most frequent type of decisions that consumers make in everyday life. Some research has examined consumer decision processes across a number of product categories and has even questioned whether there is any decision process at all. Other research suggests that if you have low motivation and ability, you may simply delegate a buying decision by asking someone else to make the decision. Of course, the outcome will depend on how well the other person knows you. Dito nga, yung sa low effort purchase, yun yung parang tinatamad ka mag-isip kung ano yung bibilihin mo. Kaya madalas kapag ganito yung sitwasyon, nakadepende ka sa decision ng ibang tao o sa mga kasama mo. Kasi ayaw mo or tinatamad ka mag-isip kung ano ano ba yung bibilihin mo. Ganon. Example nito is yung pagbibili kanyari ng consumer. or pagbibili ako sa canteen kasama mga kaibigan ko, ganyan. 'Di ba pag kunyari, pag hindi ka makapili or tinatamad kang pumili ng bibilihin, tatanungin mo sila kung ano ba yung bibilihin nila para parehas na lang kayo kasi wala kang maisip kung anong bibilihin mo. Kaya yun nga, yung decision mo is nakadepende sa mga kasama mo or sa mga kaibigan mo. Kung ano yung bibilihin nila, yun na lang din yung bibilihin mo. Conscious low-effort decision-making. Researchers have proposed a hierarchy of effects for low-effort situations that follows a thinking, behaving, feeling sequence. Under low motivation and low processing opportunity, how a marketing message is framed will influence how consumers react. Sa low motivation and low processing opportunity, kung paano nyo present yung message nyo is makaka-affect yun sa mga reaction ng mga consumers nyo. For example, yung product ng makeup, kahit anong makeup, basta kung ano yung gusto yung makeup. For example nun, yung marketing message nyo or ng inyong company is try and blow up later. Yan. Kung yung marketing message nyo is short and madaling maintindihan or catchy, syempre kapansin-pansin dapat, diba? Yung possible reaction ng consumers nyo is maniniwala sila and mahihikayat sila na bumili sa'yo ng product mo. Pero kung yung marketing message nyo is super haba and kung ano-anong paligoy-ligoy na nagaganap, malamang hindi babasahin mo ng buo ng mga consumers nyo. Syempre kasi mabuboring sila. Ganun, kasi masyado mahaba. Kumbaga, pag mababa yung motivation or di gaano ka-motivated yung consumers dahil nga sa sobrang haba ng marketing message nyo, and bababa yung process ng opportunity makukuha nyo, nasa marketing message pa rin kung ano magiging reaction ng consumers about sa product. A negatively framed marketing message is more effective than positively framed message for low or MAO. Hindi ka naman mas effective yung negative frame ng marketing message kasi sa positive pagdating sa low MAO. Yung MAO is about sa decision making. Bakit? Kasi yung positive frame marketing message is nilalaman nun yung benefits ng product mo. Yung magandang maidudulot sa'yo, kung ano yung magiging maganda pag ginamit mo yun, ganun. Tapos yung negative frame marketing message naman, sinasabi nila doon yung kung anong mapapalagpas mo or kung ano yung masasayang mo na opportunity pag hindi mo binili yun. Yung product na yun. Halimbawa yung makeup, ganun. Kasi, halimbawa nga makeup, diba? Positive frame niya is mura siya, matte lipstick, ganyan. Madaming mga available na makeup na maaaring gumanda ka, ganyan. Pero ang negative frame doon, pag naubusan ka, is hindi mo mai-experience na gumanda. Ganun. I mean, yung maging presentable sa harap ng ibang tao. O sa harap mo, sa harap ng salamin, pag titignan mo sa sarili mo, ganun. Kaya mas effective yung negative kasi parang, kinokonsensya ka nila. Parang gusto nilang maghinayang ka manghinayang ka pag di ka bumili ng makeup. Kaya ang sabi nila mas effective ang negative. Two other factors influence the low MAO decision process. Ito naman yung isa sa dalawang factors na nakaka-apekto sa paggawa ng decision na low. Unang factor is satisfies. Satisfies finding a brand that satisfies a need even though the brand may not be the best product. Ito yung una, hindi yung optimize. Kasi yung goal daw ay hindi para maghanap ng magandang brand na tinatawag na optimizing. Kasi yung optimizing sa high MAO yun. Kasi sa optimize, kailangan doon ng high effort ng consumers. And low effort na yung pinag-uusapan natin.
So, sa low effort, ang unang factor niya is satisfies. Dito mas iniisip yung mas makakasatisfy sa consumers mo kesa sa mas magandang brand. Kumbaga, satisfaction yung pinapriority nila, hindi yung ganda ng brand or yung mahal, gaano kamahal yung brand. Second factor are frequently and repeatedly. Syempre, mas madalas pag low effort yung consumers mo, yung decision making nila is nakabase sa frequently or madalas at paulit-ulit yung binibili nila. Kanyari, mas nag-rely yung consumers sa past experience nila. For example, for example, bumili yung consumers sa Jollibee, tapos hindi sila na-satisfy sa pagkain or services na ino-offer nila. Kaya, hindi na sila ulit bibili dun. Pero, pag na-satisfy sila doon sa product na yun, or sa services na ino-offer nila, syempre, bibili sila ulit dun. Ganon. E di, yun yung nagli-lead sa kanila na bumili kasi na-try na nila ilang beses and nasasatisfy sila kung ano yung meron sa kanila. Yung choice tactics, yun yung simple rules of thumb at ginagamit sa paggawa ng decision with low effort. Learning choice tactics. To understand low elaboration decision making, marketers need to know how consumers learn to apply choice tactics.
Operant conditioning. Kung ano yung behavior mo ngayon is because of the previous actions na ginawa mo, either rewards or punishments. For example, binibigyan ka ng rewards or incentives ng parents mo tuwing magaganda at matataas ang grades na nakukuha mo sa school. So habang lumalaki ka, natututunan mo na isa ito sa mga magandang behavior mo dahil rewards ang nakukuha mo instead of punishments. Punishment. Sa punishment naman, kabaligtaran siya ng reinforcement. When you purchase a product that resulted in dissatisfaction, you will ended up on not buying again that product. Or pwede ding ibahin yung tactics in purchasing products like buy the most expensive products or buy the cheapest national brand. Reinforcement. Sa reinforcement is nasasatisfy ang consumers towards products or namimit yung expectation that results in purchasing a same brand again. For example, bumili ka ng Crest toothpaste. When you use it, natuwa ka or simply nasatisfy ka. Yung time na bumili ka ng toothpaste, ayun yung magiging reason na ma-reinforce ka to buy that product again. Repeat purchase. From the word itself, repeat means buying again a products. By buying a specific products, we learn the set of tactics or different tactics that will make the consumers to satisfy. This diagram shows how the outcome of a decision can help consumers learn from choice tactics to apply in a given situation. After a consumers apply one of the 7 basic type of tactics to make choices, they take the brand at home and use it. During consumption, they can evaluate the brand, an action that results in one of 3 basic outcomes: reinforcement, no reinforcement, and punishment. Choices tactics depends on the product. The choices tactics we often use depend on the product category that we are considering. Halimbawa, loyal tayo sa brand of ketchup which is Heinz ketchup. We all know na mahal yung ketchup na yon, and the other side, we always buy the cheapest trash bag. So basically, we have different tactics based on experience natin towards the products.
Low effort thought-based decision making.
Performance as a simplifying strategy. Each tactic consumers learn from making low elaboration decisions can have important implications for marketers. As in high elaboration decisions, these strategies can be divided into 2 broad categories: thought-based and feeling-based decision making. Itong thought-based and feeling-based decision making. Para din siyang yung affect-related tactics and affect referral. Kasi halimbawa, yung feelings mo lang yung sinusundan mo kapag bumibili ka ng product, nagbe-base lang yung consumer sa feelings nila. Yung parang hindi nila pinag-iisipan yung decisions na ginagawa nila. This section examines cognitive-based decision-making, which includes performance-related tactics, habit, brand loyalty, price-related tactics, and normative influences. Siyempre, di ba, pag yung lumabas sa outcome of the consumption nila is positive reinforcement, kahit na ang ginamit nila doon is low elaboration, yung hindi masyadong pinag-isipan sa pagbili ng product, mas gugustuhin yun ng consumers dahil mas gugustuhin gamitin ng consumers yung performance-related tactics sa paggawa nila ng decisions or sa kanilang choices. Kasi di ba nagpo-focus yun sa nagpo-focus ito sa benefit, features, and evaluation ng kanilang brand or sa product brand nila. Halimbawa, yung toothpaste, yung brand niya is Colgate. Syempre, ang makukuha mo sa Colgate is gets teeth whiter, remove cavity, and also babangong hininga mo if you use that product. Syempre, if consumer satisfied to that product, nagde-develop yun ng positive evaluation ng brand. At pwede ulit nilang i-purchase yung product nilang Colgate based on its features. Marketing implications. A principal objective of marketing strategy should be to increase the likelihood of satisfaction through offering quality. Only then can a brand consistently achieve repeat purchases and loyal users. Siyempre, ito naman is kunyari may nahanap ka or may nadiscoveryhan kang shop na magaganda yung quality. Yung kunyari yung mga product na ino-offer nila doon is bags, damit, tapos shoes, basta yung mga halos binibili ng mga tao na gamit. Ganun. Siyempre, pwede mo nang i-try. Pag na-try mo yun, tapos na-satisfy ka sa product nila, na nagandahan ka, ganyan, na maganda yung quality, syempre parang lalagi-lagiin mo na, or hindi naman lalagi-lagiin, parang doon ka na lang mismo bibili sa shop nila ng mga products na gusto mo. Kasi, parang na-satisfy ka kasi magaganda yung quality ng product nila. Then, pwede ka din naman mag-recommend ng kaibigan mo or mga ibang tao na bumili dun sa shop na yon ng mga damit or kung anong product na gusto nila na meron doon. Kaya kung sa ganon, hindi ka na parang hindi ka nahahanap pa ng ibang shop na bibilihan mo ng damit, bags, shoes, like that. Kasi may shop ka na nagustuhan at nasatisfy ka na doon sa product nila. Next is advertising can play a central role in influencing performance evaluations by increasing the consumer's expectation of positive reinforcement and satisfaction and lessening the negative effects of an unfavorable consumption experience. Dito naman is yung katulad ng issue ng Jollibee. Siyempre ngayon kailangan ng company or ng may-ari ng Jollibee na gumawa ng malupitang advertisement, kasi since advertising is a very effective way not only to gain customers but also to improve the image of their company. Para yung expectation sa kanila ng mga expectation sa kanila dati ay ma-meet nila ulit or bumalik, o mas higit pa yung satisfaction ng customers nila kung sakaling mahikayat ulit or bumalik ulit, at mabawasan yung bad experience nila sa product nila o services. Kasi diba parang ngayon, ang alam ko, first time lang nangyari yun sa Jollibee, yung naging chicken naging tamarind. So, yan. Next is sales promotions such as free samples, price deals, or coupons are often used to induce consumers to try an offering. Dito naman, pag ikaw nakakita ka ng mga free days, sales, or deals, syempre magiging open ka sa mga offerings na makikita mo. Syempre mapapabili ka or mapapatry ka. Kasi lalo na pag free taste ka, diba? Syempre yung ganun, halos lahat hindi naman lahat, halos yung mga tao is tumitikin nun. Lalo na kung pag hindi pa nila natatry yung product na ino-offer ng price, gano'n. So, yun, mapapatry ka talaga.
Habit as simplifying strategy. Humans are creators of habits. When we say habits, ito yung madalas mong ginagawa araw-araw na nagiging unconscious ka na sa ginagawa mo. Like sa daily routine mo, gigising ka sa umaga, magtututbrush ka kaagad, then kakain, and after that, pupunta ka na sa work or mag-aaral. Also yung pagpo at opo mo sa mga nakatatanda or pagmamano, tuwing darating yung mga tito or tita sa loob ng bahay nyo, which is a way of respect. As a consumer naman, the word habit is yung lagi mong ginagawa when you purchase, use, eat, or even dispose it. Habit is one of the simplest, most effortless types of consumer decision making, which is characterized by little or no information seeking and little or no evaluation of alternatives. Sinasabi dito na ang habit ay isa sa pinakasimpleng way sa palagihang pagbili ng product. It is also reduce the risk when it comes to decision making. Kasi syempre, nakasanayan mo nang bilhin or kumbaga subok mo na at sure ka na masasatisfy ka ulit sa product.
Habit-based decision-making has several important implications for marketers who want to develop repeat purchase behavior and to sell their offerings to habitual purchasers of both that brand and competing products. Developing repeat purchase behavior. Getting consumers to acquire or use an offer repeatedly is important because repeat purchases lead to profitability. Marketers can use an operant conditioning technique called shaping that leads consumers through a series of steps to a desired response purchase. Halimbawa nito is yung isang company nag-provide or nag-offer sila ng sample or free taste sa kanilang product. Ito yung halos nakikita natin sa mall, di ba? Na nagbibigay o nagpapatry ng kanilang product na walang bayad. Nag-offer sila ng ganito to make a trial. Kung papatok ba ito sa mga tao at o sa mga magiging consumers nila with also high value coupon. After that, magpo-provide ulit sila ng product with low value coupon naman para magkaroon ulit sila ng mga customers hanggang sa paulit-ulit na silang bibili ng product na ino-offer ng shop or ng company para parang magiging habit na nila yun kung sakali. Marketing to habitual purchasers of one's own brand. Dito naman, according sa mga marketer, hindi nila gusto yung mga consumers nila is na i-break yung habit nila na bumili sa iisang brand or iisang shop. Kasi 'di ba, yung ibang mga consumers is mabilis silang matukso or mabilis silang mauto ng ibang marketer or ng company, lalo na pag nagsi-sales talk sila. Lalo na pag ang ginagamit nilang ang ginagamit nila is low elaboration pag nagde-decision sila sa pagbili ng product. Marketing to habitual purchasers of other brands. Ito yung parang yung consumers kailangan niyang i-break yung old habit na pagbili sa iisang brand or iisang shop. Ganun. Parang kailangan niya naman mag-try ng iba para malaman niya kung ano yung meron dun sa iba nang wala dun sa brand na habit niya. Because the habitual consumers does not have a strong brand preference, this goal is easier to achieve than it is for brand loyal consumers.
loyalty as a simplifying strategy. Pag sinabi nating brand loyalty, ito yung customer na loyal sa isang product kasi na-meet ng product yung expectation ng customer, which is resulted in very positive reinforcement. Habang tumataas yung brand loyalty, mas nagiging stronger ang evaluation. For example, yung Heinz ketchup, nag-decide ka na yun ang bibilhin mo kasi mas masarap siya compared to the other ketchup. Then na-satisfy ka kaya bibilhin mo siya ulit, which is nagiging habit mo na nagre-result into brand loyalty. We also have a multi-brand loyalty. Means loyal tayo sa 2 or more brands. For example, sa lahat ng soft drinks, 2 ang gusto mo or laging mong binibili, which is Coke and Sprite, and the rest of the other soft drinks na brand is ayaw mo na or hindi mo sila gusto. Marketing implication, yung brand loyalty ng isang customer is malaking tulong sa marketers na tumaas ang profit. Pero nagkakaroon din ng problem dito kasi loyal lang sila sa isang type or category ng product, which means nagdi-decrease yung demand ng ibang category of products. So as a marketers, it needs to identify the brand loyalty customers, which is in purchase patterns ng customer. Marketers need to study the particular sequence of purchase, like 3 to 4 consecutive purchases of the same brand or proportion of purchases like 7 to 8 out of 10 purchases for the same brand that are considered as a brand loyal. In developing brand loyalty, companies seek to develop brand loyalty because of the customers who have a strong brand commitment. But there is disadvantage towards the strong brand commitment, like the pricing strategy of the companies. So the companies now are developing a consumer loyalty through non-promotions or through less drastic price promotion. Developing brand loyalty through product quality. Basically, customers are loyal to specific brand because of its quality and reasonable price. Like buying an Apple phone or iPhone, we all know that this is expensive, but most of the customers tend to buy it because of its good and high quality. Developing brand loyal consumers of marketing of other brands. Dito, ang one of the challenging development of marketers is yung ipapersuade mo ang consumers na mag-switch ng brand loyalty. Kasi 'di ba, once na loyal na tayo sa isang brand, is committed na talaga tayo or connected na yung emotion natin. Parang sa relasyon lang, 'di ba? Once na committed ka na tapos mahal mo na, syempre hindi mo na magagawang lumingon sa iba. Ganon din sa brand loyalty. And as a result, marketers avoid this kind of customers. So, mas nagpo-focus sila sa mga customers na non-loyal or habitual customers. So, dapat as a marketers, dapat sisiguraduhin mo na kapalit-palit ang pag-switch ng brand loyalty. Parang sa relasyon mo, 'di ba? Kung hahanap ka ng iba, syempre dapat yung kapalit-palit na. Just kidding. Developing brand loyalty through sales promotion. Para ma-develop ang brand loyalty towards customers, marketers also include sales promotion such as discounts, coupons, giveaways, giving rewards, or points in every purchase. Ang disadvantage naman nito is mas nagpo-focus ang customer sa sales promotion instead to the product, or pwede ding maka-discourage ito sa customer kapag mababa yung mga rewards or points na nakukuha nila from the shop or the products.
Price-related tactics simplifying decision heuristics that are based on price. Price-related tactics, di ba kadalasan sa mga Pinoy, ganito ang ginagawa nila. Pag bibili sila ng damit o ng mga bagay para sa bahay nila o para sa sarili nila, is tinitignan nila muna yung presyo bago bilhin o kaya hahanap muna sila ng mura o mas mababang presyo, katulad ng sale nung Shopee at Lazada. For sure, madaming bumili doon kasi yung ibang gamit or brand doon is mura. At minsan din, gumagamit sila ng coupon ng shop para mas bumaba yung price at mas bumaba yung babayaran nila. Pag bibili sila ng product doon sa shop na yun.
Price perception. Karamihan sa atin maraming nabubudol sa price, like yung mga price na may mga butal, 499 or 999.9 pesos. We also have buy 3 to save 4 pesos pagdating sa mga grocery stores or even department stores. Based sa research, akala ng mga customers ay mura ang isang product if yung price has an ending of odd numbers or even numbers. Actually, lahat naman tayo is mas responsive tayo sa product kung bumababa ang presyo. For example, yung mga sales sa Shopee or Lazada, add to cart tayo ng add to cart, then check out kasi may discounts. Kahit hindi mo pa naman kailangan yung item or products is binibili mo na siya. Based this sa study, mas mataas pa yung rate ng benta ng product sa sales price compared to the regular price.
Sometimes marketers mistakenly assume that consumers always look for the lowest possible price. Although this assumption is true in some instances, a more accurate statement is that consumers have a zone of acceptance regarding what constitutes an appropriate range of prices for a particular category. Zone of acceptance, the acceptable range of prices for any purchase decision. Yun nga, yung zone of acceptance, as a part of the company, handa silang gawin yung mga bagay na part ng kanilang job. Yung task nila na mag-overtime, mag-attend sa mga meetings nila, and more. For example, yung manager mo ask you to write a documentation about your product. Syempre, as part yun ng job mo, willing kang gawin yun. As long as part ng job and position, it's okay. Ganyan. It's okay to do that.
The deal-prone consumer. Ang target naman ng marketers dito is yung mga deal-prone consumer o yung customer that is influenced by price. Kasi madali silang paraan para sa target market ng marketers related sa price. Pero dito sa deal-prone consumer, may mga conflicted studies. One studies found out that deal-prone consumer are more likely to be lower income, older, and less educated compared to non-deal prone. And on the other studies, the higher income consumers have better access to price information. Isa sa mga part of problem sa different types of deal is yung reaction ng customers towards dito. Like yung may customers na may gusto ng coupons or price cuts or rebates. As a marketer, they can use different pricing strategy that is acceptable and reasonable for the customers. Deal and deal sites. In deal and deal sites, marketers try to avoid comparing prices to the other store brand. Tulad ngayon, uso na ang online shopping, so we always try to compare the price to the different stores in a specific product para makatipid. But for the marketers, hindi nila prefer yung apps na may price comparison. So some retailers offers their own shopping app for customer to avoid the comparison among rivals. The importance of value. Most of us, we first look to its product value before we purchase it, such as quality and price. Also, consumers are willing to spend money if they know that the product they were going to buy is worth the price, like an Apple product such as iPhones, MacBook, and Apple Watch.
Normative choice tactics, law elaboration, decision making that is based on others' opinion. Sometimes other individuals can influence consumers' law elaboration decision making. For instance, a college freshman may buy the brand of laundry detergent that his mother uses at home. A sophomore might buy clothing that her friend like. Dito naman is syempre yung mga tao may possibility talaga maka-influence sa buying decision ng isang consumer. Like pag sinabi nilang, ay wag mong bilihin yan kasi fake yan. Syempre maaapektuhan yung perspective mo about dun sa product. Syempre kasi kaya niya siguro sinabi yung ganun kasi naranasan niya na parang mali yung naibigay sa kanyang product or parang na-scam siya, ganun.
Price consciousness is not static. Bago tayo bumili ng isang product, we first look at the price, especially sa mga lower level or middle level of class. So, conscious tayo related sa price of the product, syempre para makatipid. tulad ng mga bargain or kung familiar kayo sa baratilyo na tinatawag, which is they sell surplus item or even new item. Like Daiso Japan, marami silang branch of stores in different countries, even here in Iba, Zambales. If you observe sa loob ng Daiso, magaganda yung item nila, which is galing from Japan talaga siya na hindi natin makikita sa Tiangge or palengke. Kaya na-encourage tayo na bumili kasi bago sa paningin and magaganda talaga yung mga item. But we have a conflict there, especially sa economic based on the study. Like we are willing to spend money on imported brands which is new to the market rather than local brands. And alam naman natin na mas matataas yung price ng mga imported brands compared sa the local brands.
Normative choice tactics. Our use of such normative choice tactics can result from number 1, direct influence, in which others try to manipulate us. Dito naman is, ito yung binamanipulate tayo ng ibang tao or parang nagsasabi sila ng negative things or negative comment about sa product na yon para hindi tayo makabili ng product na yon. Parang ganun. Sinisiraan niya yung product na gusto nating bilhin. Second is the curious observation in which we observe others to guide our behavior. Ito naman is parang natututo tayo through observations. And last is indirect influence in which we are concerned about the opinions of others. Dito naman is iniisip mo yung opinions ng iba kesa sa sarili mong perspective. Parang nagtatanong ka ng opinion nila about dun sa product na yun. Yeah. Oo, parang nag-survey ka ng mga opinion ng ibang tao about dun sa gusto mong product na bilhin. Low effort, feeling-based decision making. Feelings as a simplifying strategy. Dito naman is yung consumers mo minsan bumibili or pumipili ng product dahil gusto lang nila pero no exact reason bakit gusto nila yung bilhin. Gusto nila bilhin or piliin yung product na yun. This behavior relies on very basic, low-level feelings or affect. Affect-related tactics use a form of category-based processing. In other words, we associate brands with global affective evaluations we recall from memory when making a choice. A process called affect referral or the how do I feel about it. Affect-related tactics. Dito naman is yung bumibili ka or pumipili ka ng product depende sa ano mo, sa feelings mo or sa nararamdaman. For example, I want to buy the brand I like or the most popular brand like bags in Louis Vuitton and Gucci. Other example naman is brand ng makeup, NARS, Vice Cosmetics, and etc. Parang dito is bumibili ka ng mga kilalang brand kasi feeling mo gumaganda ka pag ginagamit mo yon, tuwing ginagamit mo yon, or parang nagkakaroon ng kakaiba sa mukha mo pag ginagamit mo yung product na yun, yung kilalang brand na yun. Marketers should attempt to build and maintain brand familiarity and positive attitudes toward the ads. Pero syempre, 'di ba, some consumers is minsan nagpapalit or nag-iiba sila ng mga brand depende sa mga kinakailangan nilang bilhin or mga kailangan nilang bilhin, ganun. Next is affect referral. Dito naman is bumabase ito sa experience mo sa product na yun or sa services na yun. Ibig sabihin, parang may experience, parang nagamit mo na yung brand na yun. I mean yung product na yun. Ibig sabihin is hindi mo na first time bumili ng product na yun. Yun nga yung sinabi ko kanina. For example, yung services ng cat meals, yung kay Catherine Bernardo, yung services na ino-offer nila is manicure and pedicure, hand spa, and so on. For example, is na-experience mo before is yung massage therapy nila. Kung saan yung feeling mo is doon is
satisfaction. Parang nabigyan ka ng satisfaction ng services nila. Syempre, parang gusto mo ulit ma-experience yung satisfaction na yun. Kaya parang gusto mong gawin ulit yun kasi alam mo na kung ano yung feeling or na mararamdaman mo pag ginawa mo yung services or punta ka dun sa shop nila.
Brand familiarity. Affect can also be generated from brand familiarity. In one study, beer drinkers with well-established brand preferences could not distinguish their preferred brand from others in a blind taste test. Brand familiarity. Ito nga yung madali lang siyang ma-recognize kasi nga kilala yung brand na yun. Katulad ng brand ng shoes. Ano ba yung mga brand ng shoes? Mga Nike, Adidas, Vans, basta yung mga kilalang brand ng shoes. Ayun nga. Then, co-branding. Ito naman yung arrangement ng two brands. Parang two or more brands. Parang nag-form siya ng partnership. Yan nga. Yung product na yan or services na yan is two or more brands. For example, nun is BMW and Louis Vuitton. And other example naman is yung Spotify and yung Starbucks. Yun yung example ng co-branding. Price consciousness is not static. Given that feelings can play an important role in the decision process, marketers can attempt to create and maintain brand familiarity, build category-based associations, and generate effect through advertising that creates positive attitudes toward the ads. Ito yata yung sinabi ko ako dun sa affect-related tactics. And unity, when all the visual parts of a design fit together. Yung tulong-tulong kayo. Yun yung
decision-making based on variety-seeking needs. Another tactics category sa low-effort situation is variety-seeking, which is to try something different. The reason behind on trying something new is because of satiation and boredom happens. In satiation, nananawa tayo sa isang product kasi paulit-ulit natin siyang ginagamit. Like gabi-gabi na lang tayong umuulam ng tuyo. So, mauumay ka or di ka gaganahan kumain kasi lagi na lang tuyo ang ulam mo kada gabi. So, ikaw, hanap ka ng bagong ulam sa gabi like bulalo or tinola. So, as a consumer naman, we are always not contented pagdating sa product na ina-acquire natin. And as a marketers, they are going to offer a variety in product category kaya sa mga business owners, lagi nilang ini-improve ang service nila and also their products para patuloy na masatisfy ang customers and para na rin manatiling ipatronize ang kanilang product. There are different level of arousal for the boredom of consumers. First, optimal stimulation level or OSL, which is an internal level of stimulation or magbigay buhay in a way of buying something different or bago sa panlasa. Next is sensation seeker. Ito yung mga customers na nakikipag-unahan sa ibang customer na bumili ng trendy products. For example is yung Tala by Kyla, accessories na makikita sa Lazada or sa Shopee. Pag naglabas sila ng bagong designs ng necklace, earrings or bracelets, for example, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., so maraming customers ang mag-aabang sa time ng available of orders. Besides, limited ang stocks nila, kaya swerte mo na lang kapag mas nauna kang bumili sa lahat ng customers na kaagaw mo. If I am not mistaken, kapag nag-upload na sila ng item and ready to take orders by customers, wala pang isang oras is ubos na agad yung accessories nila. Also, we have vicarious exploration. In this level naman, customers are seeking first on the information before they are going to buy, either by reading or talking with other people regarding sa product. Another example din is yung mga window shoppers sa loob ng mall. Like, window shopping muna para sa next na pagbalik ko, alam ko na yung bibilhin ko. Marketing implication. As a marketers, need nilang ma-recognize and ma-manage ang iba't ibang needs ng customer. For example, yung Frito-Lay which is offers different flavors. Also, Pepsi Company which is offers new cans on regular basis. We also have a Wolf Ridge Brewing Company. They offer different seasonal foods and drinks. However, consumers don't like too much variety because sometimes nagbe-base din sila kung gaano ka-organize ang mga product sa loob ng store or sa store shelves.
Buying on impulse. Another common decision process that has a strong affective component is the impulse purchase, which occurs when consumers suddenly decide to purchase something they had not planned on buying. Ito naman yung pagbili ng hindi pinag-iisipan or wala sa plano. Katulad na ngayon, sale sila sa Shopee at Lazada. Siyempre, wala yun sa plano mo na bumili. Pero, sale nga sila, kaya parang naisipan mo na bumili doon sa online shopping kasi sale sila. Yun yung example ng buying on impulse. Impulse purchases are characterized by an intense or overwhelming feeling of having to buy the product immediately. Ito nga yung sinasabi ko na kanina na example niya is pag sale yung isang shop, katulad ng Shopee or Lazada. Siyempre, pag sale ang Shopee at Lazada, kadalasan nun, madaming taong bumibili doon sa shop na yun. Kasi, siyempre, free shipping, tapos yung iba, mababa yung presyo. Pero, yung ginagawa nila nun, siguro hindi nila napag-iisipan kung kailangan ba nila yun or magagamit ba nila yun. Kasi, parang agad-agaran lang sila bumibili kasi nga, mura. Yun yung nag-uudyok sila sa kanila para bumili doon sa shop na yan. Second is a disregard for potentially negative purchase consequences. Kunwari, may nag-offer sa'yo ng mura na pangpaputi na sabon. At dahil mura nga, bumili kang agad-agad. Tapos after ilang days na gamit mo yun, dun mo napapansin yung pangangati ng mukha mo or katawan mo. Tapos nagkakaroon ka ng pimples, ganon. Ito yung example nun kasi di mo agad naiisip kung bakit mura yung sabon na binili mo. Tapos ginamit mo kaagad. Yun nga, example ng buying impulse. Hindi mo pinag-iisipan bakit mura, baka mamaya may side effect pala yun sa'yo. Ganon. Third, feelings of euphoria and excitement. Syempre, di ba, minsan may time talaga na pag bumibili tayo sa mga shop or sa mga bilihan, napapabili tayo dahil kasi masaya tayo. Pero hindi natin pinag-iisipan na bumili ng ganun dahil nga masaya tayo. Parang doon natin nakukuha yung excitement natin sa pagbibili ng mga products na nakikita natin. Doon, yan. Fourth is a conflict between control and indulgence. Kapag kunyari mag-iipon ka tapos napadaan ka sa palengke or sa isang mall, tapos nakakita ka ng bagay o pagkain na gusto mo talagang tikman, ganyan, parang nakukuha niyo yung attention mo. Tapos, parang ito yung tinatry mong pigilan yung sarili mo na gumastos. Pero madalas may mga tao na ganyan sitwasyon. Hindi nila mapigilan na hindi gumastos dahil gusto nila matikman or gusto nila matry yung product na yun. Kahit na pinipigilan talaga nila ng todo, mahirap talaga kontrolin. Lalo na pag yung sarili mo yung kalaban mo. Marketing applications, marketers can influence impulse purchases in a number of ways. Many stores organize their merchandise to maximize impulse purchases. As discussed earlier in this chapter, eye-level and eye-catching displays, including end-of-aisle displays and blinking lights, can increase sales dramatically, mostly of impulse items.